This is the WJTS News. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Joey Rehl reporting. The Jasper Police Department arrested a Jasper woman yesterday. After a thorough investigation, the Jasper Police determined Mrs. Leticia Marcos Francisco had knowingly and intentionally used another individual's personal information to obtain a job at Master Brand Cabinets. Mrs. Leticia Marcos Francisco was charged with identity deception, a level 6 felony. She is lodged at the Du Bois County Security Center. On Monday, the school board meeting was held for Jasper Consolidated Schools. At the beginning of the meeting, a government class at the high school was recognized called We the People. We the People is a government class taught by Jared Land where students go in depth in the Constitution and debate skills. After the Wildcat Spotlight, the council members went over the quarantine isolation guidelines. At the moment, no matter the county color, the guidelines stay the same. The guidelines include staying home for 5 days if you are a close contact, as long as you are asymptomatic, and return to school with a mask for an additional 5 days. If you are vaccinated and you are a close contact, you are allowed to come to school as normal with a mask for 5 days, as long as the school positive case rate stays at 4% or below. There will be no mask mandate in the school. The Jasper Elementary Edition is still underway, and the concrete slab will begin when weather permits. Lastly, the Parks Department was approved for opening the Cabby O'Neill Gym for anyone to come walk, run, play pickleball, and much more during the winter months. There will be more on this when an opening date becomes available. The next school board meeting will be held in the Jasper High School Community Room on February 28th at 7 p.m. Indiana's unemployment rate fell from 3% in November to 2.7% in December, a record low for the state dating back to 1976, according to the Indiana Department of Workforce Development. In addition, private sector employment jumped by 10,900 over the last month and has now increased for 6 of the last 7 months. This has resulted in a gain of 82,400 jobs year over year. Total private employment now stands at 2,705,500, 35,000 below the December 2019 peak of 2,740,500. By comparison, the national unemployment rate dropped from 4.2% in November to 3.9% in December. You can learn more about how unemployment rates are calculated at hoosierdata.in.gov. Indiana's labor force had a net decrease of 8,774 over the previous month due to an increase of 3,836 employed residents and a decrease of 12,610 unemployed residents. Indiana's total labor force, which includes both Hoosiers employed and those seeking employment, stands at 3.31 million. The state's labor force participation rate of 62.4% remains above the national rate of 61.9%. Du Bois County Cares welcomes Candy Neal as its Drug-Free Communities Grant Coalition Manager. The mission of Du Bois County Cares, the Coalition for Adolescent Resiliency and Empowerment Strategies, is to empower youth to be alcohol and drug-free. Candy is a native of St. Louis and has lived in Jasper for the last 24 years. She has spent that entire time at the Du Bois County Herald as a reporter, covering various parts of the county. Prior to coming to Indiana, Candy worked at newspapers in St. Louis. She has a bachelor's degree in communications and journalism from St. Louis University. Candy is a member of the Redemption Christian Church and is a discussion leader for a Bible study fellowship group that meets weekly at Shiloh Church. She also organized an annual Valentine dinner for widows and widowers in Du Bois County prior to the COVID pandemic. She likes to listen to music, read, scrapbook, and make cards, hang out with friends, and visit with her family in St. Louis, especially her mother. Du Bois County Cares works towards its mission of empowering youth to be alcohol and drug-free by educating the community on the detriments of youth substance use, educating adults on the detriments of providing alcohol to youth, providing skills building and encouragement for parents and guardians to talk with youth about substance use, collaborating with and supporting partner agencies, working with local lawmakers to create and sustain a community that does not tolerate underage drinking and drug use, DuBois County Cares received a drug-free communities grant from the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration in 2017, guaranteeing the organization $125,000 annually for 5 years with a possible renewal for an additional 5 years. TRICAP is the fiscal agent for DuBois County Cares. For more information about DuBois County Cares, you can visit duboiscountycares.org. You can contact the coalition at duboiscountycares@gmail.com or by phone at 812-827-8464. For more information on TRICAP, you can visit tricap.net. State Representative Cindy Ledbetter authored legislation to address a growing trend where people falsely claim their pet as service animals to take them to public spaces like movie theaters and restaurants. House Bill 1102 unanimously cleared the House Committee on Agriculture and Rural Development Monday and now moves to the full House of Representatives for consideration. Under the bill, animals could be removed from public areas if they are not harnessed, as well as if they are out of control or not housebroken. If signed into law, Indiana would join 33 other states with a law on the books about fraudulent service animals. Under the Americans with Disabilities Act, a service animal includes any guide dog, signal dog, or other animal individually trained to provide assistance to an individual with a disability. Under the ADA and Indiana law, people with disabilities may bring their service animals to all public accommodations, including restaurants, stores, and workplaces, but they must be harnessed, leashed, or tethered unless the device interferes with the animal's work. The ADA nor state law recognizes emotional support animals. House Bill 1102 would also prohibit asking about the nature or extent of someone's disability or asking for documentation, but inquiries could be made about whether the service animal is required because of a disability and what tasks the animal has been trained to perform. An operator of a public accommodation would also not be allowed to charge a fee for a service animal, and a Hoosier accompanied by a service animal would be allowed in all areas of the public space that anyone else is allowed to go. There are more than 22,000 guide dogs and service dogs in the United States, according to Assistance Dog International, helping individuals with difficulties hearing, seeing, walking, and learning. Ledbetter said these animals can often do life-saving work, such as responding to a seizure in someone who has epilepsy or reminding someone with a memory condition to take their medication. To learn more and to watch legislative proceedings, you can visit iga.in.gov. Stay tuned. WJTS News will be right back with a check of weather, and then Kurt Guxell will be in with a look at sports.